when then Pope Benedict XVI announced on June 17, 2012 that the 51st IEC would be held in Cebu City, Philippines, it ended what seemed for Cebu Archbishop Jose Espalma an exhilarating anticipation that the Philippines will be hosting its second IEC in 79 years.
Which will take place in 2016 in the city of Cebu. To the people of the Philippines, I send warm greetings and assurance of my closeness in prayer during the period of preparation for this great ecclesial gathering.
Manila, the former national capital, hosted the 33rd IEC in 1937, the first in Asia.
Hello, I am Archbishop Jose Palma of the Archdiocese of Cebu, and I feel privileged to invite you to participate in the 51st International Eucharistic Congress.
After the announcement, Archbishop Palma issued a heartfelt invitation to all to share experiences of faith, hope, and charity with the people of the Philippines. He acknowledged the country had meager resources, but has abundant faith which has sustained the Filipino spirit in the midst of trying times. His words proved prophetic because on October 15, 2013, the neighboring province of Bohol was rocked by a 7.2 magnitude earthquake. Cebu City and the northern part of the province, including Leyte province in eastern Visayas, were badly affected by the killer earthquake. Relief and rehabilitation efforts had barely begun when another calamity struck the country's central region in less than a month. On November 8, 2013, Super Typhoon Yolanda, international name Haiyan, the strongest tropical cyclone ever to make landfall, slammed eastern Visayas. Storm surges brought death and destruction to the central islands. More than 16 million people were affected and over 6,000 died. Economic losses were estimated at $10 billion. The double tragedy put a pressure on preparations for the IEC as the Cebu Archdiocese had to prioritize relief, recovery, and rehabilitation programs for calamity victims. Cebu Archbishop Jose Palma was then president of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines, and the CBCP worked closely with international Catholic charities, public and private groups to bring succor and assistance to earthquake and super typhoon victims.
It's only later that I'm beginning to realize, we have to prepare a place, and then Rome gave us, the guidelines, which committees to establish, which committees to put up, what to organize, what foundations to put up, and what to prepare, like in 2012, what to prepare in 2013, 2014, 2015. Rome is very organized. They already give us the things to do. I said, so this is what it means, to hold a Congress. There's a lot of committees to be formed, a lot of work to be done.
The different committees in the national and local levels had already been set up, but the biggest concern of all remained uncertain: finding a suitable venue that would accommodate 15,000 delegates from all over the Catholic world. In September 2013, Vatican representatives led by Archbishop Piero Marini, president of the Pontifical Committee on the IEC, Father Vittorio Bucardi, a member of the committee, and Ms. Anne Griffin, Secretary General of the previous IEC in Dublin, Ireland, visited Cebu City to assess the proposed sites that will serve as the main venue of the Eucharistic Congress.
The search for the venue focused on Uni-wide warehouse, the offer of the Limyu family, and the seminary. Although the seminary was last to be serious consideration because of the cost.
The ASC coordinator is Mrs. Fe Barino, who, together with husband Rafaelito, leads the Love of God community. The Barinos own Duros Development Corporation, a construction company based in Cebu. It is a family-owned, medium-sized corporation which started as a small-town trading firm. One of Mrs. Fe Barino's fervent wishes is for the lay movement to have its own building or center. Thus, when Archbishop Palma asked her to collaborate with the Cebu Archdiocese in building a structure for the 51st IEC, it took only 5 minutes for Fe to accept with a resounding yes.
An ordinary telephone call from the Archbishop, or from Archbishop Palma sometime in November 2013 was the beginning of it all. The good Archbishop posed to me the possibility of building a hall or pavilion for the International Eucharistic Congress in cooperation with the charismatic communities of Cebu. My heart leaped. It's been a long time that the charismatic groups needed a venue. Of course I said yes, without a second thought. It seemed to me to be a simple building structure, and the amount involved may not be so big.
Armed with modest resources and the tightest of deadlines, Duros Development Corporation started mobilization and eventually broke ground on February 15, 2014. According to Rafaelito Barino, construction was unusual because they did site development simultaneous with project planning. It took months before the company was able to establish the cost of the construction project. Lito revealed Duros proceeded with the project without financial support from the Archdiocese because it was still raising money through fundraising campaigns. As work progressed, Mrs. Fe Barino, who is Duros Vice President for Finance, found out the project entailed a larger budget. Fortunately, the company was able to lean on financial institutions which supported the project all the way. This prompted Archbishop Palma to revise an earlier commitment to the effect that instead of shouldering part of construction expenses, the Archdiocese will give Duros usufruct rights over part of a church property for a period of 25 years. In January 2015, or 14 months after the fateful phone conversation between the prelate of Cebu and a small-town businesswoman and charismatic group leader, Archbishop Palma signed the Memorandum of Agreement. Finally, on November 21, 2015, or 18 months after Duros embarked on a construction project of a lifetime, the company formally turned over the IEC Pavilion in ceremonies that coincided with the 25th anniversary of Duros Development Corporation.
That is her life experience and the experience of Duros. Duros has been spearheading this, that, and the other, according to giving a Christian presence in business. No, because they could not believe that there are people who could be so trusting in God that they have no capital and they assume such responsibilities. It's never done in business.
This is not just a matter of business that we can make and get, but this is a matter of our faith.
The IEC Pavilion is a massive 3-level structure. It has a floor area of 25,754 square meters. A grand plenary hall greets the visitor in the first level. There is a chapel in the second level which can also provide spaces for theater, art gallery, exhibits, and numerous function rooms. The design of the IEC Pavilion is pragmatic, according to architect Carlos Zafra, who said he drew up the structure along the lines of simplicity.
It had to be simple despite its grandness. Usually when faced with important projects and important buildings like these, we always get tempted to be flamboyant with the design. But with all the factors and all the variables that the project required, simplicity, because the church would not want to show off something that is so grand and capricious.
For his part, Archbishop Socrates Villegas of Lingayen, Dagupan, president of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines, said the choice of the seminary grounds as site of the 51st IEC made him recall the story of King David, who had a dream while looking for a place to build the Temple of Jerusalem.
When King David was looking for the site to build the Temple of Jerusalem, he wanted the best place to build God's temple. And because of his extreme fatigue looking for the proper site, he fell asleep. And while sleeping, he dreamt of two brothers. The first brother was a widower with no child. The second brother had 8 children, a big family with his wife. King David woke up and he said, "On this spot, I will build God's temple, because on this spot, brother and brother met together in love, in mercy, in compassion, sacrificing for the other." The site of the International Eucharistic Congress is that. It was chosen because here, brothers and sisters come together, loving one another, loving God, and looking for the face of God in one another. The International Eucharistic Congress should lead us closer to one another and make us truly brothers and sisters for everyone.
Bishop Villegas stressed, the IEC Pavilion is also that.